savage.
Hey, Dan and the tech savvy at-risk youth. I am a 20-something-year-old girl from Canada, and I am lying in bed having just masturbated to a couple sexual encounters I've been having on and off with this guy. The sex is unbelievable, but the only thing is he's a chauvinist pig. Okay, that's too harsh. He's a chauvinist. He's funny and he's cute, and I would never date him because he inherently thinks men are better than women. And I am a raging feminist, not the bra burning kind, just I ragingly believe in equality. And so I'm having this crisis of conscience because I often get in fights with my guy friends. I ruin parties, really, because I so want them, you know, these strong, educated, white males to, I'm black, by the way, to identify as feminists because I think that's important for the cause, blah, blah, blah. And I think that if they knew that I was having sex with this guy who inherently believes that men are better than women, and not only that, I like totally get off on like him calling me a bitch and me being like, yeah, like fucking I'm like this dumb whore, I'm your dumb whore. He's like slapping me around. And I think I know the reason it's so hot for me is that I know he believes it. And, you know, I think it would be really hot with a guy that respected me who was playing that part as well. But like, it's so much hotter because I know he thinks he's better than me. And that's just like, that totally gets me off. And maybe I'm comfortable getting off on it because I am pretty positive I'm better than him. And maybe that's an egotistical thing to say, but I am a woman, hear me roar. Like, I'm a bad bitch and, you know, he doesn't deserve me. But like, fuck. The sex is amazing, and oh my God, he goes down on me, and it just like blows my mind. So what do you think, Dan? Am I being a total hypocrite, or is this just a kink? Thanks.
It would doubtless break the hearts of the boys that you lecture at parties about the feminist men they need to be if they knew that the way to get into your feminist pants was to be the opposite of the man you're scolding them for not yet being. Not being the feminist that you want them to be is the way to get into your pants. They would become a fresh new wave of guys whining about how nobody wants to fuck the nice guys on Twitter. And then they would in turn be scolded by feminists assuring them that if they're not getting laid, they're not actually nice guys. And then there you are getting your pussy chomped on by an asshole. I'm really conflicted about your call because I'm a fan of good sex and hot sex, and the part wants what the part wants, and your girl part wants his mouth part and other parts because he gets your blood flowing because it feels so what? Obviously, it feels so transgressive, and that's part of what our erotic imaginations crave is not just a fulfillment of self or someone who compliments us and our values, but somebody who negates them, somebody who crosses lines and boundaries. That sense of risk and danger and stepping outside ourselves as we present ourselves to the world is very, very hot and very, very sexy. But there's a difference, I think, and a fundamental, crucial, important difference between fucking someone who's dressed up like a Nazi, because those uniforms turn you on and that role play turns you on, and fucking someone who is a fucking Nazi. And I'm not equating, you know, a shticky male chauvinist or a male shtickivist. Who knows if this guy really believes these things or if this is a game he's playing, some sort of pickup artist bullshit. I'm not equating that with Nazism. Assholery, yeah, I would equate that with assholery and bigotry and sexism, but not quite Nazism. But still, there are guys out there who could flip a switch, role play, turn it on, call you a bitch, throw you around, toss out that kind of dirty talk, who could still fundamentally respect you as an equal when you flip that switch back off by mutual consent, right? Well, not by mutual consent, by individual consent. If he wants to flip the switch off, he can. If you want to, you can. There are guys out there who can do this, do what this guy is doing for you. But you went ahead and admitted that there's something about knowing he believes these things that makes it hotter. And I would encourage you to sit with that and think about that. I don't believe that means you aren't actually a feminist or you don't actually believe that you're equal. But how seriously do you take personally? You confront other people about parties, you ruin parties when you confront them about their not being feminists or about their sexist comments or beliefs or assumptions, microaggressions or whatever it is that prompts you to ruin a party. You do all that, and yet you look down between your legs and see the top of the head of an asshole, sexist, male chauvinist pig lapping away at your labia. Contradictions, transgressions are hot. But I think there's a line, and I think you may have crossed the line between, I don't want to say permissible, but perhaps ethical transgression and line crossing and hypocrisy. That this is kind of hypocritical. But you can still have your hypocrisy and your contradictions and this male chauvinist in your bed and in your pussy too, if you want. It's a little bit like what I tell people who aren't out. I think not being out is a moral failing. I do not think that requires everyone to be out. If you can't be out, certainly because your circumstances don't allow it, because you would be a victim of violence, you get a pass. But if you're just not out because mommy and daddy might have a sad or you're afraid, that's a moral failing. Doesn't mean I'm going to out you or you have to come out, but you have to take responsibility for that moral failing. You have to own it. You have to eat it. So maybe what you need to do here is own and eat this moral failing that this man in your bed, in between your legs, lapping away in your pussy, represents a moral failing on your part, a letting down of the side, an aiding and abetting, a coddling of the enemy in the fight that you consider yourself a foot soldier in. So you go ahead and enjoy the sex. There's nothing I can say, I know, that's going to peel this guy off you or you off this guy. It's too good. So enjoy the sex, recognize the contradictions, and own your own hypocrisy.